They always talk about the graveyard shift, but the noise coming out the classroom, not the classroom, it sounds like it's not the graveyard shift. I thought I should actually change my title from Herbicide Basics, maybe the Herbicide 101. And the idea of giving this talk came up really last year at the same meeting in St. Francis, with a lot of misunderstandings, confusions about herbicides, and how we're not utilizing herbicides. Is that better? Is this on? Must I stand closer to it? Okay. How we're not utilizing the mode of action or the way herbicides work to maximize the effect that we want to get in the environment when we use our herbicides. So we're going to go through today some herbicide basics, and we're going to go through a lot of squares on the board, just how they all fit together and how we can use and what we can do with the product as we go along. We're not going to talk about herbicide families. We're going to talk about herbicides in 4 different breakdown aspects of them. And the first one we're going to look at is herbicide application timing. When we apply the herbicide, and let's hope this all works, we have our post-emergent herbicides. Those are the ones that are most commonly used in this field, where we actually apply the herbicide to the target plant. We know the plant is there, we're going to apply the herbicide, and then alternate to that, we have the pre-emergent herbicides. There was a bit of discussion about pre-emergent herbicides with Parthenium. Should we be putting a pre-emergent herbicide down there, because it stays in the soil for a period of time and actually kills the plants as or when they germinate. These are used mostly in agricultural situations, or roadsides and industrial work, and to a lesser extent in the invasive vegetation market. So for this case, we're going to send the pre-emergent herbicides out. We're going to concentrate on post-emergent herbicides and then break them down into the next grouping, which is the movement in the plants. How do these herbicides move in the plants? And then we have 2 basics. We have the contact herbicides. Contact herbicides in most invasive species market are not used because they work on a fairly short-term basis. If we go into those, we'll see our contact herbicides do not move in the plant. Now, if we have a plant physiologist here, they'll tell us they do move in the plant, but to all intents and purposes practical, they don't move in the plant. They go into the plant and they stay in the green material. They are mostly non-selective herbicides. We'll cover that shortly, and they're used generally for clear ground area on annual plants, fire breaks, aquatic plants. On the fire breaks, they're used because they don't go down into the root zone, so you can kill the grass, kill the broadleaf weeds, and you've still got the root matter to hold the soil together for erosion prevention. Aquatic plants are used extensively there because they bind to the soil very, very strongly and are not available to plants other than through foliar uptake. However, a downside is that they may be relatively toxic. And many of these products are slowly being phased out, and we're carrying on using them because there's no alternative. So if we move on to the alternate, we have the systemic herbicides. And the systemic herbicides, as the name implies, those are the ones that move through the plants. All our herbicides we use in working for water-type programs and basic control species are systemic. They must either move down the plant, leaves to the roots, roots to the leaves, and then some products have the ability to move both upwards and downwards. This sounds very simple, but understanding which way the herbicide moves and how much it moves is important in our application of our herbicides and our choice of our herbicides, because all systemic herbicides are not made equal. Robinia was discussed. Robinia, with its root suckers, wants a herbicide that's highly mobile downwards and then highly mobile along the root system as well to kill all of those root suckers. We can enhance the mobility of the herbicide by applying late season when the plant's about to start losing its leaves, and then the movement gets enhanced through the roots as it travels with the phloem down to the root systems. They may be selective and non-selective, and certainly the broad spectrum, they are used in a broad spectrum of uses. So we can get rid of the contact herbicides and carry on with systemic herbicides, and we then move on to the most confused one is